What up, Giants fans? We got some breaking news at 10 p.m. on Wednesday, day 3 of NFL free agency. The New York Football Giants have signed wide receiver Jeff Smith. If you're like me, your first reaction is, who the hell is Jeff Smith? Well, we're going to break that down in today's show. We'll let you know everything you need to know about Jeff Smith. We'll also talk about some free agency rumors surrounding the New York Football Giants right now. But the news of the day, the Giants are signing wide receiver Jeff Smith. He spent the last 4 seasons of his NFL career, really the first 4 seasons of his career with the New York Jets. He was an undrafted free agent out of Boston College in the 2019 draft. Played in just 1 game in 2019 for the Jets. Targeted twice, had 1 reception for 12 yards. Saw an uptick in usage in the 2020 season. He played in 12 games, started 4 games, had 37 targets, 17 receptions, 167 yards, 0 touchdowns. Then in 2021, he played in 12 games and started 3 of those games with the New York Jets, 8 receptions for 113 yards. Then this past year with Gang Green, 11 games, didn't start any, had 8 receptions for 134 yards. Look, this is expected to be probably a 1-year veteran minimum deal. The Giants just need more bodies, and really healthy bodies, at this wide receiver spot. This isn't the only move Joe Schoen is going to make to improve the wide receiver depth chart. He knows that there needs to be an infusion of talent at this position, and no disrespect to Jeff Smith, he's not the guy that's going to do it. Not a scrub whatsoever, but he is just a body at this point. And honestly, he's going to be fighting to make this roster at the wide receiver spot. And it's, like I said, it's just a body. Look at the wide receivers on this depth chart. You really only have 1 guy that is healthy right now. You got Isaiah Hodgins, he's healthy. Wan'Dale Robinson, he's coming off a torn ACL, happened in the middle of the season. Will he be ready for week 1? I sure hope so. That's still TBD at the moment. Sterling Shepard tore that ACL in week 4 against the Dallas Cowboys. Will he be ready to go week 1? And how much can you really rely on Sterling Shepard at this point? Pumped they brought Sterling Shepard back, one of my favorite Giants on the team, but it was a veteran minimum deal for 1 year, and I'm not really expecting too much from Shepard. Anything he gives you is going to be bonus. So you got Shepard hurt, Wan'Dale Robinson hurt, Isaiah Hodgins healthy, you got Colin Johnson who's hurt. So you have 4, and Khalil Pimpleton, if you want to count him. You really got 2 wide receivers that are healthy. Pimpleton, a guy that spent most of his season this year on the practice squad. Richie James is a free agent. Darius Slayton is a free agent as well. Rumors are out that maybe Slayton is going to want too much money from the Giants. Is going to get that from another team. Reports are the Giants have an offer out for Darius Slayton. But that's not the news of the day. We'll break that down later on. First, I want to get your 1-word reaction to the Giants signing wide receiver Jeff Smith on day 3 of NFL free agency. You guys are always fun. You're always creative. Let me know down in the comment section. Your 1-word reaction is what? Let me know. For me, it's depth. It's a body. It's someone that's healthy. You're going to have to carry 6 or 7 receivers this year for Big Blue, and you want some competition going in to training camp, into the offseason programs, into OTAs as we get closer and closer to preseason, where you got to trim that roster down from 90-plus to 53. Smith, he's solid. I wouldn't expect too much of him. But the reason the Giants were able to be so good last year, one of the key reasons, was they were able to sign minimum contract players like Richie James on offense. Jahad Ward wasn't the minimum, but it was very close to the minimum. Fabian Moreau, Justin Pinnock when he got healthy, or Jason Pinnock when he got healthy, started playing some safety reps as well. You need these guys, low-cost players, to outperform their contract. That way, you can have players that don't make a lot of money and produce. It's like any business in the world. The most valuable employee is the one that you pay the least and gives you the most production. That's what the Giants got a bunch of last year, hoping that Jeff Smith can probably be that same type of player. I expect him to compete for a roster spot. Nothing will be earned at all. A guy that hasn't scored a touchdown in his career. He's played in 36 career games, started 7 of them, 67 career targets, 34 catches, 426 yards, 12.5 yards per reception, has not caught a touchdown, 21 catches for a first down. This isn't the wide receiver signing we were all waiting for, nonstop checking our YouTube feed and checking our Twitter feed to see if it happened. But you got one in Jeff Smith. He's going to be a Giant. I'm going to go to Twitter real quick and see if there's any news on the deal. I believe it's going to be a 1-year veteran minimum deal. Nothing more than that. He's got some upside. He's going to be a depth piece. He plays gunner on special teams, so you get a guy that competes and contributes on offense as well as a special teams department. Look, you got to build a roster of 90 people that you get down to 53. Not every signing is going to be sexy. It's going to make a lot of people happen. But at the end of the day, the Giants needed more wide receiver help. Smith will give you a body that's healthy, and for that reason alone, I think it's a solid addition. Kind of want to shift gears as we close out today's video number 2 of the day. That's why you subscribe. A lot of rumors around the Giants right now and the wide receiver market. We've seen a whole bunch of rumors on Twitter that the Giants are going to trade for Brandon Ayuk. I'm not so sure that's going to happen. They already gave up a premium pick for Darren Waller, a third-round pick, pick number 100, a top 100 pick. Do they really want to trade a first-round pick, pick number 25? For Brandon Ayuk? I like Brandon Ayuk. I would do it. I'm thinking, what would Joe Schoen do? I don't think that's the way he wants to navigate, because once you trade for Brandon Ayuk, you're going to have to give him a new contract extension. Giants are already up against the cap. If they made a trade, I'd be happy. Ayuk's my number 1 trade target. I love his game. Can play inside, can play outside, can run the full route tree. He can catch the ball and get jiggy with it. He's a generator with the football in his hands. Coming out of the draft at Arizona State, he was the number 1 player in the country in yards after catch. I think he'd fit this offense perfectly. Don't know if it's going to happen. Some guys that are on the radar that have been reported from Art Stapleton and Jordan Renan and license plate guy. You got Mecole Hardman, DJ Chark, and they're still looking at Darius Slayton. When you look at these 3 guys, what do they all do? They're all big play wide receivers. They have speed. They like to push the ball downfield or get the ball pushed to them downfield. They want to put pressure on the opposing DBs. The Giants need more explosive plays. They were a bottom 5 team in explosive pass plays in the 2022 season. They know they got to get better at that department. Step 1 was getting Darren Waller, one of the most explosive tight ends in the NFL when healthy. I think they're going to come down to either signing Hardman, Chark, or Slayton. Personally, if I had to choose between one of those guys, it would be Mecole Hardman. There's a lot of noise on Twitter saying this guy is someone that has an injury history, and I think that's unfair to the person in this situation. This is a guy that through his first 3 years of his career did not miss a regular season game, did not miss a postseason game. And he missed 8 games this year, but he also played 1 in the playoffs, and he played 9 games. So 1 injury in 1 season, 1 injury out of 4 seasons does not mean someone has an injury history. That means they had 1 injury. Mecole Hardman's not a stud. He's a good receiver, not a great receiver. He doesn't solve all of your problems. Neither does Slayton, neither does DJ Chark. There is more work to be done, but I would sign, Mecole Hardman to a $5 million deal, 3 years, $15 million. I think that would be fair. DJ Chark's probably the most talented receiver out of these 3, but he's a guy that's played just 15 games in the past 2 seasons, which is 34 games possible. He's played in less than 50% of the games. He has an injury history. Never played more than 15 games in a season. He's always been hurt every single year. I'm personally out on DJ Chark. He has had the most productive season. 1 year he had over 1,000 yards. I believe he had 9 touchdowns as well. He's had a season of 22 yards per catch. He's an elite deep threat, no doubt about it. The Giants need a guy like that. But I just don't feel comfortable having an injury-prone tight end in Isaiah Hodgins. To be fair, an injury-prone running back in Saquon Barkley. Daniel Jones has also missed some time in his career. Not calling him injury-prone, just stating the facts. Don't get mad at me in the comments. Also, why do I want to sign a receiver that is injury-prone? Like I said, 15 games played, last 34 chances, and he's never played more than 15 games in a season. So that brings us back to Darius Slayton. I like Slayton. I don't love Slayton. I don't think Joe Schoen loves Darius Slayton as well. Listen to how he talks about receivers. He wants receivers that can line up all over the football field and be able to create separation. Darius Slayton is not a receiver that does that. Yes, he's fast. Yes, he can push vertical routes. He can run those deep over routes, but he's not a guy that creates separation. That's why I think Mecole Hardman, who is one of the league leaders in yards of separation per route run, makes so much sense for this offense. Also, he's been in this offense. He's been a part of the Kansas City Chiefs. where the Giants offensive coordinator in Mike Kafka comes from. I also like Hardman, the fact that he's a punt returner. Giants need to get better in the return game. Can we have an explosive play in the return game? You need that. Any place you can get explosive plays, you go find it. Another reason I like Mecole Hardman, he had 2 rushing touchdowns this season. I don't want to say he's a gadget guy, but he can do those gadget things. He could take a jet sweep. He could take a handoff in the backfield. You could throw him a screen route. He's good with the ball in his hands. I just think Hardman is the guy that fits what the Giants need, fits what they want to do, and has the most upside. And at the end of the day, you're not going to have to pay a lot for him. I think $5 million, $6 million is the most you would absolutely have to pay. I do want to close the show with this question, though. Pick a wide receiver for the Giants to sign. Type DS for Darius Slayton, type MH for Mecole Hardman, or go down in the comments section and type DJ for DJ Chark. Appreciate you guys tuning in. News of the day. The Giants have signed a wide receiver, and that is Jeff Smith. When they make another move, we'll make another video. Make sure you subscribe and have your notifications turned on.